Hello friends, in the previous module we have discussed how to find complementary function for auxiliary equation which contains real, distinct roots as well as repeated roots. Now we consider another specific case. If the auxiliary equation phi of d equal to 0 is quadratic. So this is very specific case, is quadratic and it has complex roots. So that is, if we consider d is equal to alpha plus or minus I beta are the roots of auxiliary equation phi of d equal to 0. So this implies the given differential equation phi of d y equal to 0 can be written as, so it is d minus first root alpha plus I beta and second root t minus alpha minus I beta into y equal to 0. So from these two linear factors we can operate it on y one by one. So we consider the differential equations d minus alpha plus I beta into y1 equal to 0. So this will be your equation number 1, and second equation d minus alpha minus I beta y2 equal to 0. This will be equation number 2. And here the general solution is given by y is equal to y1 plus y2, where y1 is solution obtained from equation 1 and y2 is solution obtained from equation number 2. So we solve one by one. So for equation 1, we can find solution for y1 is equal to some constant times e raised to the root alpha plus I times beta into x. So we can rewrite this as c1 times e raised to alpha x into e raised to I times beta x. We can rewrite e raised to I beta x as, so this will be c1 e raised to alpha x into, so by using Euler's formula, e raised to I theta is cos theta plus I times sin theta. So this will be your solution for equation number 1. Similarly, for equation number 2, we can find y2 is equal to c2 times e raised to the root alpha minus I times beta into x. Again we can separate that exponential term, so it will be c2 e raised to alpha x into e raised to minus I times beta x. So we can separate again by using Euler's formula. So y2 is equal to c2 times e raised to alpha x into cos beta x minus I times sin beta x. So this will be the solution for equation number 2. Therefore, required general solution becomes since we have y is equal to y1 plus y2, we substitute values for y1 and it is equal to So if we take e raised to alpha x common from both the equations, so this will be c1 into cos beta x plus I times c1 sin beta x plus c2 cos beta x minus I times c2 into sin beta x. Now again we can take some terms commons. After taking cos beta x and sin beta x common, we can rewrite this solution as e raised to alpha x into. So we take c1 plus c2 as constant a into cos beta x and I times c1 minus I times c2. So combination of constant is again constant, so we refer it as b into sin beta x. So this will be our required general solution. So we can identify this will be our required complementary function when our root of auxiliary equation is alpha plus or minus I beta, where alpha is the real part, so we can represent real part by exponential function, and beta is imaginary part, where imaginary part is represented by a trigonometric function. Then one constant a represents first root alpha plus I beta, and second constant b represents second root, that is alpha minus I beta. So from these three cases we can generalize a simple formula. So depending upon the nature of roots of auxiliary equation phi of d equal to 0, we have two cases. So first case is for real roots and second case is for complex roots. So roots are real and roots are complex. Roots are real, this implies d is equal to m type of root, and roots are complex, that is d is equal to alpha plus or minus I beta, where alpha is the real part and beta is imaginary part. Now for these two cases, again two sub cases may arise. First case is your roots may not be repeated, so we consider the non-repeated roots, and second case is the repeated roots. So for these cases we prepare a simple table for the sake of calculating complementary function. So this is the summarization. Here we discuss some important tricks that how to figure out the required complementary function. I hope this table will be beneficial for you to simplify any example on complementary function. So these are the standard cases that we are going to discuss right now. So first, if roots are real and non-repeated, then the complementary function will be exponential. So we take the non-repeated root into independent variable. Since root is non-repeated, means it appeared only once, so we take only one arbitrary constant. So nature of root will specify nature of the function which is to be used in the complementary function, and multiplicity of root will be represented by number of arbitrary constants used. Same is the case with complex roots. If your complex root alpha plus minus I beta is non-repeated, means it appeared only once, then your complementary function will be e raised to alpha x, where alpha is the real part and every real part is represented by exponential term, into c1 cos beta x plus C2 sine beta x, where C1 represents number of times alpha plus I beta is repeated, that is 1, and C2 represents number of times alpha minus I beta root is repeated, that is 1. So each root is appeared only once, so we take only one arbitrary constant. Now we go to the next case when our roots are repeated. So for time being we consider our root is repeated 2 times. Then since nature of root is real, means it will be the complementary function will contain an exponential term in it, and multiplicity of root is specified by number of constants. So since this root is repeated 2 times, so we take linear combination of 2 constants in increasing powers of x. We can consider C1 plus C2x or C1x plus C2. Fine. If this root is repeated r times, suppose this root is repeated r times, then we take linear combination of r arbitrary constants, C1 plus C2x plus C3x square and so on, plus C r x raised to r minus 1. So we have taken linear combination of r arbitrary constants in increasing powers of x. And since root is real, again we get exponential term. Same is the case with complex repeated roots. If this root is repeated r times, real part e raised to alpha x as it is, linear combination of r arbitrary constants here, so C1 plus C2x plus C3x square up to CR x raised to r minus 1 into cos beta x plus CR plus 1 plus CR plus 2x and so on up to C 2 times r x raised to 2r minus 1 into sin beta x. Instead of general r, you can consider 2, so it will be C1 plus C2x cos beta x plus C3 plus C4x sin beta x. So this will be the general summarized table to prepare complementary function. So by using this table, you just need to identify nature of root. If it is real and non-repeated, so we take only one arbitrary constant for that one root. If root is repeated and real, then just check multiplicity of the root. Nature of function will be exponential, and just take linear combination of those many constants in increasing powers of x. Same is the case with complex root. Just figure out what is real and imaginary part. Always remember, real part is represented in terms of exponential function and imaginary part of the root is given in terms of a trigonometric function. That's it. So this is the table. Your note, we consider only 2 arbitrary constants. So that will be easier for you to take a look. So we consider C1 plus C2x. Here C1 plus C2x into cos beta x plus C3 plus C4x into sin beta x. We have used these two constants for the root alpha plus I beta and these two constants for the root alpha minus I beta. So this is the summary. In next module, we discuss some examples and we re-revise this table, how to use this table while solving examples. So stay tuned for the next video. We discuss more examples. If you have any doubts, you can post your doubts to me. Thank you.